There we go. Means the stream is up. Alright. New Jane skin today. And now we'll start the thing. So, for the first time in a long time, I am not going to be doing other stuff in the background. It's going to be just you know, a bulk of much more, I'm not going to edit it, but much more cleaner videos with not a lot going on, easier to understand, bite-sized pieces that I might do more lately. But yeah, so I am going to start doing build videos, which every DBD YouTuber in existence has done, but you know, I'm going to have my own take on it. So I'll show you guys my killer build. So yeah. Alright. So, on every killer in the game, I tend to run 3 builds. For every killer and survivor, I run what I consider the best build for the characters. My second build is whatever I consider the most annoying for the other side to deal with, and then number 1 is just blood points. So for killer, that means this is whatever meta build I'm running on that killer at the time. This is whatever, for killers, this is usually a basement build, or an AFK and then kill everybody at the end build, or just something that survivors would hate to deal with. And then for number 1, it's a blood point build. Fairly simple on killer. I'll just use Trapper as the example. It's the anniversary event, so I'm going for blood points no matter what. But whatever the case, Trapper needs Corrupt set up. He kind of needs it, and then you can run whatever you want. I tend to like Ruin for gen regression, and if you pair it with Plaything, it's hard for them to find it. Not to mention you can trap the Ruin, and then Pentimento for if they cleanse anything, because then you have the extra gen regression. It's just a overall, I think, fun build for Trapper, where you don't have to kick gens, you don't have to do a bunch of pain with that. And as long as you don't let them steamroll you, it's a pretty fair build where them cleansing is their downfall. And if they just leave the ruin up and just push through the gens with blindness and with the Ruin, they could definitely win the match. It's not unfair. I like builds like that, where as opposed to just, you know, steamrolly builds, I'd rather have sort of fairness builds. As for 2, this one is definitely the basement build I ran last. I'd probably switch Insidious for something else like the Wesker perk, I think, Awakened Awareness, right? I don't have a tier 3. Yeah, I'd probably switch it for Awakened Awareness, and it would be just a great build to get people on hooks easy, and, you know, holding the basement with mad grips is super easy. And this build is almost unanimous across all my killers, except if I have an endgame build instead, I would normally, you know, swap it out for no-weds and you know, the other stuff you would run in an endgame build. And then this is literally the same across all killers. I just have Beast of Prey, Distressing, Thrill of the Hunt, because those are the 3 blood point perks in the game, and then I run Undying, so in case somebody blesses one of these hexes, because people tend to do that for some reason. You won't lose your stack of Thrill of the Hunt, but if they bless the wrong totem, you'll still keep Thrill of the Hunt. Sort of a weird build. You have other options you could do to protect your Thrill of the Hunt. I tend to not avoid running other hexes, because if you have other hexes that they're going to focus on Thrill of the Hunt, they'll think you have more, and then, of course, because, yeah. Whatever the case. Those are my killer type builds, but since the blood point bonus right now is for Survivor, I'm probably going to do a Survivor video, so let's get into that. I am just about to the point where I have every perk on every Survivor in the game, so I'm trying to decide which is going to be the Survivor I Prestige 100, which one I'm going to main. I think it would make the most sense for me to do it on Kate, because she's the character I have all of the outfits on in the game, but I also really like Yunjin for her lore.
Stay sharp.
I really like all the Resident Evil characters because their games are awesome. I like Hattie for her lore. I like a lot of the newer survivors. And then, of course, there's Nicolas Cage coming out around the corner, Gabriel Soma and the Singularity. Just a lot to look forward to. So, yeah, and you can see I'm holding on to blood points for Singularity that's coming out soon. Anyway, for this bad example, for most, probably use Kate, because I think somebody used the Yunjin on my account. And let's throw this on. There we go. So for most most survivors, this is almost right. No. My wife is on my account a bit, so some of the builds that I had is a little mixed up. How about white? Yeah. Alright, there we go. Not this one, but the other one. So, there is the build that I think, you know, is good, the best for the person. For survivors, I think it's the altruistic build, because not only do you get a bunch of blood points, and it's fun to do, you know, to keeping your team alive, but on top of that, not on top of that, of keeping your team alive, having an objective to do the whole game aside from generators, and getting a bunch of extra blood points from it, it's not very annoying to the killer, because you do generators at the normal speed, which is, I think, fair. I would normally run any means as a bonus one here, but it's not there. Honestly, for this build, you really just need Will Make It and Empathy. The other ones are your option. I think Autodidact, if you're good at looping, and you're going to get to an end game where you're healing everybody at the very end, I think Autodidact's one of the best, simply because you can get to a point where you can hit one skill check and get 2/3 of a person's healing done instantly. Any means is what I like to use on pretty much every build on Survivor, just because I like the extra blood points you get from boldness for resetting pallets, and also the aura reading. You could see where the survivors are at across the map from which ones are being dropped. But if you had to pick other ones, you know, there are other great options. If you are going to run Autodidact, you won't be using a medkit, so things like Empathetic Connection and Botany Knowledge, wherever it's at, I think it's right, yeah, here, Botany Knowledge, they're really, really great perks to use for this sort of build. Then we have the Gen build, which right now this is the best you can run. Soon that's going to change when Scavenger comes out. Of course, you could throw other things on here. You could throw things like Fast Track, which isn't the greatest gen perk, but it still is one. If you're not very good with looping, you could throw on Distortion so that you can focus on the gens without doing that. I would consider this the unfair build for Survivor. You know, it really will piss off your killer if you're getting 2 gens done within 3 minutes in the match. It's not a great feeling for them. And you would want to throw this on. You want to have this toolbox, these add-ons, and then whatever you'd like. This is the great gen build. This is what I like to run. And I hate to say it, but I'm probably more of a scumbag on Survivor than I am on Killer. Simply because I really like the gen builds. I like to have an easier time. But I also don't mind getting off the gen to do chases. So there is that. Then, this is normally my blood point build. Obviously, I was doing some sort of challenge where I had to do something. I probably had a flashlight challenge, and then my wife switched the thing, because that's what this looks like. This looks like protection hits. Yep, protection hits and unhooking saves. That's what this challenge was. So I had a build like this. But to show you what I've been running lately, let's see if I don't have a cake on Dwight. I do have a cake on Dwight, so we will be playing as Dwight for this video then. We'll play 2 matches, and this is what the video will be about. It's going to be getting as much blood points as you physically can during the double blood points or any blood point events, okay? I'll probably change the name of the video too. For stream right now, it's just, you know, an explanation of my normal builds and stuff, but I might actually break up the video. This will be just an explanation video. Sort of an unhinged rant. But to show you what I would consider the best blood point build as of right now, I would normally throw any means as one of them, but I'll explain which one I replace it with right now that it's disabled. But your best bet's going to be Bond Prove Thyself, because Prove Thyself gives you a crap ton of points, and it'll allow you, if you're doing a gen with another person, to get the entire gen, like, you'll get the entire objective medal done by, like, 2.5 gens, if you do it with another person. Sometimes even just 2 gens, if there's more than 2 people with you, or more than 1 person with you, which is absurd. That'll get that done really, really fast. Then, if you're trying to get the unhook medals, you have the options of We'll Make It, you have the options of, what do you call it? You have the options of Borrowed Time, those sort of things. It's just things where you get more altruistic points. I think We'll Make It's the best, simply because, if you unhook somebody and then take chase because the killer's right there, you're not going to be able to use the healing. But they're going to get the, escape, the safe escape, which is the blood points you're going to get from Borrowed Time anyway, and if you're able to heal them right off of hook because of that health increase, it's going to do really, really good for you. Then this is, you can run Circle of Healing, or, yeah, you could run Circle of Healing, or you could run a Savo build, or a Saboteur, and bring a toolbox like one of these ones with you. This is what I'm going to run for the video today. I'm going to run this, because I'll be able to break hooks, and that'll do the same blood point category as cleansing totems, and, or, saboteuring, right? But you'll be able to do that quite a bit at the start, and with this add-on, the killer won't be notified, so you can do the 2 or 3 times right away in the match, get a bunch of blood points from that. Looking at this build, what I'd probably swap out would be, instead of We'll Make It, I would be running enemies, because that'll give you boldness, so that way you have objective, boldness, totems, and saboteuring. So the only thing you so it'll be boldness, altruism, your other, and then you just escape, and that'll give you all 4 of the blood point categories. If you do this right with an escape cake, you can get up to 80,000 blood points in a match. A very difficult feat, but what makes it even better is if you're running this build, like I said, during a blood point event or during the anniversary event, that doubles. So just right now, if I were to start a match with this game, start a match with this build, I would have 160,000 blood points I could earn in a single match, which is, wow, a lot. I think that'll do it, though. That is all of my builds in DBD. If anybody has any variations on a build they want me to talk about, or any videos they want me to make on it, I will go and do that. But for my standard builds, I'm going to be making some videos very, very soon, so those will be uploaded shortly. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. See ya.